Hey everybody, welcome to my channel. If you are a first-time visitor, welcome. And for those of you that are regular subscribers, great to see you all again. My name is Emiko, aka That Hi-Fi Girl, aka emikomusic. And this is the place for all things hi-fi, audio, music creation, keyboards, guitar, and yes, dogs. Although at the moment, Victoria is behind my camera, fast asleep. You may start to hear a rumble, in which case she is snoring away and dreaming. So check this out. I am in the middle of a day of critical listening, and I stopped because I had this aha moment during one of my listening sessions, and I went onto social media to share it with everybody. And a lot of you responded with your own stories about aha moments, but a few of you actually wrote to me and said, what's an aha moment when you're A/B listening? And for that matter, what is critical listening? So I thought, I'm gonna make a video about it. If you are unfamiliar with what critical listening is, you have come to the right place, my friends. And then I will tell you about the aha moment that I had. So basically, critical listening, the way that I do it, is twofold. Listening in the studio as music creators and producers, we're listening for things like the balance in the mix. Is the sound stage correct? Are things panned appropriately? Is there enough space in between instruments when we're stacking them? Are there any digital artifacts? Is there room noise? Is there any sort of background noise that we weren't aware of? If we're recording to tape, then is there tape noise? Stuff like that. And sometimes we'll find really cool things that we didn't know existed when we were recording them, and then we'll just pump them up in the mix because we find that they're really cool additions to the song. Audiophile and hi-fi side really has to do with what is presented in the music that you're listening to and what components in your system are creating that presentation. So what that means, for example, is if I put on a record and I want to test out different preamps, I'm going to test them out and listen for specific similarities, specific identical aspects, and specific differences. I test out cables this way, so I will A/B cables. I will also make sure to be taking notes. Sometimes I have a meter with me, sometimes I do not. I'm trying to think what else. Oh, sometimes I'll go from vinyl to digital to CD. Sometimes I'll go mono to stereo. I will swap out speakers, although recently all of my critical listening is featuring the Egglestonworks Osos. And so here's where that A/B aha listening moment came in today. I had the Rolling Stones on, and for anybody that knows me, you'll know that I'm a huge Rolling Stones fan, right? Just fanatical about the Stones. And I was listening to, I think it was Sympathy for the Devil. I was just taking some notes down and, you know, it's all fine. The song ended, the next song came on, and I heard this crack of a snare drum, and I looked up, and it was something I'd never experienced before. The key is this. When I realized what song it was, I freaked out. It was Honky Tonk Woman, which is not, ladies and gentlemen, one of my favorite Rolling Stone songs by any stretch of the imagination. I've heard Honky Tonk Woman, I don't know, 8 million times over the course of my life, and it's fine. Like, it's a fine song. There's nothing wrong with it. It just doesn't make me go, oh, that's my song, I love it. So when I heard that first snare hit, I thought, whoa, that's different. I've never had this reaction to Honky Tonk Woman. Part of critical listening is you have to be hyper aware for things, I think, in this particular type of critical listening. There are other types where you don't have to be hyper aware, or it's better if you're just sort of natural in a state of relaxation. But for me right now, for what I was doing, which is a completely different video that, by the way, is coming out soon, it was about being hyper aware and taking notes and being very, very meticulous about what I was looking for. And I thought, whoa, Honky Tonk Woman doesn't actually sound like this, does it? And all of a sudden, all of these different aspects of the production started coming to light. Things that I had not really heard before, things that I either didn't pay attention to or didn't care about or just glossed over because I didn't find them interesting. All of a sudden, they were interesting. So I put on my science hat for a minute, if you can even call it that. And I said, okay, right now I'm listening to the vinyl. I'm gonna switch over and listen to digital. Same song, same speakers, change the medium. So I did, and I listened to it on Qobuz, and then I listened to it just through my iTunes library, right, from my phone. I thought, that's interesting. So aside from the fact that in my opinion, vinyl gives it a more live feeling, and it gives it a more in-your-face, you're there in the room with them feeling, and digital seems a bit more sterile in the way that it's presented. That aside, I had the same reaction to the drums. I thought, okay, so now we've tested on different components, right? We've tested it on vinyl through an integrated amplifier. Then we went to Bluetooth, we went to high resolution streaming, Qobuz, then we went to just regular old MP3 on my iTunes. Okay, so whatever this is, it's the speakers. And I do remember having a similar experience listening to 10,000 Maniacs, and I was listening to Billy Joel's Live in Russia album, and the presentation of the drums through the Egglestonworks Osos were just so live. And not overpowering live, but just grounded and there. And I got goosebumps from listening that way. And so that was a real aha moment for me in today's critical listening session. So I wanted to make this video because this is the type of stuff I think that if you really sit down and take the time to do, you can elevate your own listening experience so much. And I'm here to tell you that hi-fi is more than just a hobby in my world. Hi-fi is part of your daily life. I think it's almost kind of like part of your health, right? Because if you elevate your listening experience, it's been proven that there are things that happen in your brain that send signals through your body differently. To anybody that's had an aha moment like that, or a different type of aha moment, drop me a comment, share with us what that is. It's always great to connect with everybody. And if you've never had that aha moment, and you're curious to find out if there are any listening tips, or if you're wondering why, just reach out and ask. Like I said, my big thing is not just getting people involved in the hobby and the community because it's fun and cool, but it actually can affect your life in a very different, deep and positive way that can be super long lasting in terms of development. And I think that makes it really cool because it's also, hi-fi is healthy. There, we're gonna coin that right now. Hi-fi is healthy. So I hope this sort of clears this up for the few people that were asking about the A/B listening and what is critical listening and the aha moment. I hope this has given you a bit more clarity and has answered your questions. And to everybody else watching, thank you so much for tuning into this video. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and ring that bell to turn your notifications on. There are lots of other videos coming. And I hope that we can continue to connect about hi-fi and audio and music experiences, because these are some things that, despite all of our differences in the world right now, these are things that can really bring us together. So until next time, I hope Victoria's snoring wasn't too intrusive. But until next time, thank you everybody so much for watching, and I will see you really soon.